Welcome to one and only Enjoying Online History in English medium class. Today we are going to learn about scientific ideas, which is a lesson of grade 10, lesson number 5. Scientific ideas can be divided into two main categories. One we call early scientific ideas, or else early stage of scientific ideas. And then second one, we can see maturity of scientific ideas, maturity, or else advanced stage of scientific ideas. When discussing about the early stage of scientific ideas, it's further categorized into three main categories. Tonight, number one we called clay tub burials. Number two is known as the technology of building houses. Number three, we called earthenware. Earthenware. So these are known as early scientific ideas. Moving to maturity of scientific ideas, or else advanced stage of scientific ideas, is known as first we have to study key features of a tank. Key features of a tank, and then we can move to study water fountains in Sigiriya, the architecture of Ruan-Velizai foundation. So these comes under maturity of scientific ideas. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Scientific ideas divided into two, baby. Only scientific ideas and the maturity of scientific ideas. Early scientific ideas tunai, clay tub burials, technology of building houses, and earthenware. Next, move into maturity, advanced scientific ideas, key features of a tank, and then water fountains in Sigiriya. Moving to architecture is known as discussing about the foundation of Ruan-Velizai. So key features of a tank further divides into like tank bund, and sluice gate, as well as canals, and breakwater or alapanav. Key features of a tank further divided into tank bund, sluice gate, canal, breakwater, which comes under key features of a tank. Maturity of scientific ideas. So there will be a question. What are the two stages of scientific ideas? Number one, early scientific ideas. Number two, maturity of scientific ideas. What comes under early scientific ideas? Clay tub burials, technology of building houses. Earthenware means technology of clay technology. And then if I ask you, what are the stages of maturity of scientific ideas? Key features of a tank, water fountains in Sigiri, and discussing about the foundation of Ruan-Velizai. All this comes under actually maturity of scientific ideas. So now we will be discussing about the early scientific ideas. First part, clay tub burials. When discussing about clay tub burials, it shows early scientific ideas. Let's see, what is this? What's the purpose of clay tub burials? The purpose is actually to cremate dead bodies or to perform rituals. The purpose of clay tub burial, the purpose is to cremate dead bodies. There will be a question, what's the purpose of clay tub burials? It's totally, completely for the cremation, the purpose of cremating dead bodies. And then it takes a shape of boat or a basin. It takes a shape of boat or a basin. And clay tub burials, the purpose is to cremate dead bodies. and the shape is boat or a basin. A boat or a basin. It's like this actually. A clay tub burial is like this, Puta. A clay tub burial take the shape of a boat or a basin, and they have fixed actually clay tubes. They have fixed clay tubes. They have fixed clay tubes. What happened when a relative passed away? The dead body deposits here. The dead body deposits here. The dead body deposits here. And then, why? What's the purpose of having clay tubes? What's the purpose of having clay tubes here? Why? Clay tubes. Why? What's the purpose? Purpose of having clay tubes. You know, the clay tub burial, the purpose of clay tub burial is to cremate dead bodies, burn dead bodies. So if we want to burn something, we need what? We need oxygen. O2, air. Air is essential for the purpose of cremation. Air is essential for the purpose of cremation. Yes, Puta. So, at that time, our ancestors, the historians, Puta, they have knew oxygen is essential. The air is essential for the purpose of cremation. Therefore, that is why they have fixed clay tubes. They have fixed clay tubes. So, isn't it an early scientific idea? Yeah. Now it is in 2024. We know that oxygen is essential, but I'm discussing thousands years ago, Puta, right? So thousands years ago, our people knew oxygen, air is essential for the cremation, the process of burning. So that is why they have fixed clay tubes. So that is why, Puta, this is also known as clay tub burials. Clay tub burials. So clay tub burials means the purpose of clay tub burial to cremate dead bodies. The shape is like a boat or a basin. The purpose, or else the purpose of having clay tubes is to get air into the clay tub burial for the purpose of cremation, burning. Not only that, you all know, Puta, the walls of the clay tub, Puta, had created or had built with minimum height, with the appropriate thickness. They have given the minimum height. But the thickness is appropriate to the height. It's also a kind of scientific idea. Minimum height with thickness that it won't break. Those are early scientific ideas. The most important fact is this. Do you know, they have the walls of the tomb, Puta, they have built perpendicular to the ground. Now you can see I'm perpendicular to the ground, right? So they have built walls perpendicular to the ground. Not like this, perpendicular to the ground. Why they have built the walls of the tomb perpendicular to the ground? Why it is? Do you know, the modern science propositioned or explained, it's a fundamental of physics. That mention if any object perpendicular to the ground, if any object is perpendicular to the ground, the pressure exerts on the earth is neutralized. Once again repeating, the physics mentioned that if any object is perpendicular to the ground, the pressure exerts on the earth is neutralized. So you can see, Puta, these clay tub burials, they have used the early scientific ideas. That is why they have built walls perpendicular to the ground, taken air, have fixed clay tubes to get oxygen into the tomb. Yes. So we can come to a conclusion that the clay tub burials had early scientific ideas. I think you are clear about how to prove clay tub burials have scientific ideas. My first question, what is the purpose of clay tub burials? For the process of cremating dead bodies. Why they have include a clay tube to get oxygen or air into the clay tub burial, because oxygen is essential for the process of burning. What's the shape of this? A boat or a basin? A boat or a basin. The most important thing that they have built walls of the tomb perpendicular to the ground. Why? The pressure exerts on it is neutralized. Therefore, we can prove, or it is crystal clear, that clay tub burials possessed early scientific ideas. Keep studying. These are very important for your examination.